free. And you know what? I can tell you're on. Feel free, and you've done this before. You can think of this team as a 55-win team. That's fine. They were 55 and 27 this year. Now, who could have believed that a 55 and 27 team wouldn't get to the postseason?
Now, listen.
See, this is, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of denial that will prevent the Warriors from any kind of meaningful progress.
No, Steve Kerr told you he's not on my island.
Yeah.
He said, well, he didn't take the bait. He would not comment. And he said it would be foolish, basically, to think of this team, through championship lenses. Right. And I get that. Then he said he would be a proponent for changes. What I'm doing now, Steiny, the smoke and the dust has settled. And I got to get this off. I saw Brandon Pajemski play in college, 10 games, because of my son. And everything he did in his rookie year, he went above and beyond. But the fact that a rookie led your team with three Hall of Famers, hold on, let me get this off, with plus minus, if you're into that, but to me, there's something there over 82 games. I think that's an indictment on Pods, on everything else around him. That a rookie could come in here and basically, I'm saying it, have the biggest impact of anybody else. And then I thought about it. Well, what about the night Steph got 30 and then Wiggins got 25? What was happening with his man on the other end to where Pods led the team, a rookie, in plus minus? Right. That is not a good for Pods.
Well, then why are you surprised?
It's not a good thing for the team.
Why are you surprised then that they didn't make the playoffs?
Because I was blinded by all that.
I know, and so.
But I'm letting it out now. It ain't a Pods problem. He's great, but it's everybody else around him. The OGs let a rookie come and have a bigger impact. That's a problem.
Why don't you just make it easy for me and apologize for not listening to me for 4 months?
See,
because now it's like he said yesterday, Goose said, Steiny, they looked old. First game last night, they looked old?
It wasn't just old, Steiny. It just discombobulated, man. They looked pressured and bothered. The Kings were in their space.
That's happened all year to the Warriors. They're turning Steph over more and more. Clay's getting more inefficient. Draymond's putting together fewer and fewer great games. I mean, the idea, like, here's, I guess, and I know.
No, I'm just
this is Gary Radnich. Hey, we're having fun on the radio. Yeah, we're just having fun on the radio. But for you to come to some kind of major conclusion after one game on Tuesday, after watching this team play 82 like they've played, I don't know if I can help you today. I don't know if I can help you.
This is therapeutic, just letting it out, man.
Yeah. Patrick's in San Mateo. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, man?
How you doing, guys?
Hey.
Help Guru out.
What up, Pat?
He watched his first game on Tuesday.
Stop it.
You know what? You know what? First of all, I'm going to say you nailed it from the very first day of the season about the age thing, and how you nailed it, man. I remember the day listening. But you know what? I'm calling to put a positive spin on all this and look at this objectively. And here's what I really think. Be patient with me. Number one, you can't blame Joe Lacob for rolling the dice for one more year and seeing what would become, if this squad could put together a hell of a run this year.
Right.
You can't blame him for that. But the good news is, if you let Klay walk, which I think they should, you let Chris Paul go, you let Looney go, you're looking at over $100 million in saved payroll. Now, with that kind of money, assuming he wants to spend that much, or maybe 70 or 80 of it, there's a good list of free agents out there that the Warriors can pick up. The first thing you try to do is to go out and try to snag a superstar to go with Steph. At a high-level superstar. If you can do that, great. If not, there's a very good list of players that you can try to snag to put at number 2 next to Steph and spend the rest of the money putting some good role players on that bench. I don't think that Lacob's going to spend $30 million a year on Klay for a player that you're going to bring off the bench whose defensive skills have diminished. I just don't think he's going to do that.
Yeah,
but the bright thing is here. There's going to be a lot of money to play with.
No, there's not. That's the problem, Patrick. There's not a lot of money to play with. You have Steph under contract for 55.
Ooh.
You got Wiggins and Draymond under contract for 50 between them. So you're already over 100 right there. You get and that's you lose Chris Paul. You just got to lose Chris Paul. But then what are you doing with Klay? Are you paying Klay 20? I mean, you still got Gary Payton II making 9.
Wow, man.
The best you can do, from what I understand, is somehow get below the second apron, which will probably cost you Klay and Chris Paul, and then you might have access to the non-mid-level non-taxpayer mid-level, which is a $12.9 million contract exception. But the idea that the Warriors are going to be able to lose Chris Paul and maybe Klay and get in here a $45 million player, that's not going to happen.
Well, everybody would be feeling good if they could do that,
Right.
Yeah.
They can't. The other thing I was thinking, and this is where I really want to ask Warrior fans about this, because I just watch this team, I observe this team, and then I obviously keep track of the fans. But the one thing that I think would bother me if I were a Warrior fan, and it's nobody's fault, it's just the way it worked, but the idea of a dynasty coming to an end is tough. We know that. But we also know, it's coming to an end. At some point, it's going to come to an end. There's just something about the possibility that it's Klay leaving first. That Klay is going to have to be the guy that the rules change for. And Klay is going to have to be the guy who gets squeezed out. And it's Klay Thompson who's going to be the guy playing for another team.
Wow.
I do think if you're a Warrior fan, you have the right to say, why can't it be Draymond? Like, why can't Draymond be the first one to leave if the big three is going to get broken up? I feel like, unless I'm wrong, and you can tell me I'm wrong, I think Warrior fans, well, this is just how I think some Warrior fans might feel, but I'm happy to hear that I'm wrong. But just, Draymond gets the contract he gets, and then he does what he does, and he did what he did for the last 2 years. And then Klay's in a contract year, Goo, and struggles, and they put him on the bench, and he overcomes that, and he finally gets to a place at the end of the year where he's in a good spot, and he's the guy who's got to go first. That would annoy me a little bit.
You know what? I totally understand that, but we can't put that, and I'm not saying you are or any fan, at the doorstep of Draymond Green.
No, I am. I am putting it at the doorstep of Draymond Green because there's an unfairness to the fact that he may still be here and Klay won't. Like, that is because of a set of circumstances that really Klay didn't have a lot to do with, and it's unfair.
Now, how about Draymond, too?
It sucks. Klay shouldn't have to be the one to go first.
Yeah. But
should be Draymond. It should be Draymond.
Now, why would you say that?
Because of all the big three. Who has devoted themselves the most to the big three? Who has tried to do the right thing? Who's more loved? All those things. Yeah. Who do we have more of an emotional attachment to? And maybe more important, who do we think has more of an emotional attachment to the team?
Now, what if Joe Lacob offers the Warriors 2 for $60 and Klay says, you know what, I just need to change the scenery. You still feel the way you feel, but we can't say that's a Draymond.
I just think it sucks if Klay's the first one that has to go of the big three. After we've watched the last 2 years and seen Draymond's act for 2 years, and then we saw Klay this year battle through some stuff, work through some kinks, all those kind of things. That's all. I mean, again, I hear nobody's fault. It just sucks.